Hey everyone, today we have a very exciting video. We will be installing the NBT EVO in my BMW E46. Now, before we get started, I should mention this is our first time doing it. This is revision 1. This is an almost complete kit. We will be probably having to make revisions along the way on stuff that we learned today, and I'm sure we're going to miss a few things, but this is overall a revision 1 DIY of installing an NBT EVO in my BMW E46. I am super excited. We'll have these for sale soon on the website, so stay tuned. We'll also publish some update videos. Before we get started with today's video, give us a huge thumbs up and consider subscribing. It's going to be an awesome video. All right, guys, we're going to give you a first look at all the parts. This is subject to change. Some of this is in rough form because we have to do some modification in the car to get all the links correct. But basically, these are all the parts that you're going to need, starting with a quad lock harness extension. That is because if you did not have a GPS already installed in your E46, you need to run the quad lock connector to the rear where the EVO is going to sit. We have a very long display cable, again, because the display has to run from the trunk to the front. This is the custom harness that we've created that plugs into the EVO and into the car. Again, we'll go over all this in more depth once we start running things. It's really, we have to do some test fitting in the car. Moving along, we have some random wires that we're going to probably need to run. We have the NBT EVO screen. This is an Apex 2 touchscreen with a custom bracket. Again, very rough form. You can see it still has the 3D printed lines. This will eventually match the interior, but just for the sake of the video. This is a FM adapter. We have a GPS antenna. We have two antennas here. One is a Wi-Fi, one is a Bluetooth. This is the star of the show that makes it all happen. This is a NBT EVO. And this one has been customly modified to include a GPS port, so you don't need an ATM, which is pretty cool. The other things that we have is some other wiring that we may need, GPS extension, and I think that's about it. We have some other various things that you're going to need is solder, Tessa tape, heat shrink, stuff like that. But overall, this is the basic kit that we will be installing today, and I'm sure once we get this installed, we'll make some modifications. We're definitely going to clean this up a lot. One thing that you don't see here is the microphone. I actually already have a microphone installed in my car. We're just going to extend the wires to the back, and you will get essentially a PDF sheet also that goes over how to pin all these out. This is all just NBT EVO stuff that's readily available online, but there will be a PDF that kind of goes over what goes where. So if you want like microphones, PDC, because you can have active PDC working on this, backup cameras right here, that's for an aftermarket backup camera. So there are a lot of other things that can be done. So a full PDF for the wiring will be included, but our kit will have it all pre-wired in the end. So something to look forward to. So we're going to start by removing everything in the trunk. My trunk is partly taken apart because we had to do some test fitting. The other thing you'll need to buy is you'll need to buy this rear carpet out of a E46 that had a GPS. I'll have it linked down below. I'll have a whole parts list of things that you need. This is where the EVO is actually going to sit. I currently already have one in there for testing. You will need to buy this. This isn't something we're going to supply. I'll have a parts list down below that will include this part. So you'll need it if you have a coupe or sedan, or maybe your car already had GPS, the factory GPS wired in. And if it did, you'll already have this. And yeah, so we're going to start by taking this off and then taking off the rest of the trim. We're going to work up the driver's side. So that includes taking off the rear panel, includes taking off the little door trim and kick panels to get to the radio. So we're just going to start taking everything apart and snaking wires. All right, so we're going to give you guys a small little update. We've run most of the wiring that we need to run. So we have, as I mentioned, this is the bracket that we have for the NBT EVO. This was originally part of the BMW navigation system on the E46. We ran a long display cable. We ran the quad lock extension. As you can see, this is the old BMW quad lock with the circle pins. Some E46s have the old, some have the new. You'll have to check yours. And then right here, these are really the only other two wires that will be running up to the front. This is CAN from this essentially KCAN1 from the cluster. or CAN bus as it's called, and then this is for the microphone. Everything else will stay back here. So your Wi-Fi um, antenna, your GPS antenna, your Bluetooth antenna will all stay back here. And if you want to run PDC, everything is in the back here. So there's not much else to really run to the back. So that's kind of why we did the first run, just running all the cables. And then now we're going to show you the front where we ran everything to. And then we can start installing the NBT EVO. So from the trunk, we ran up the display cable, quad lock, mic, and the KCAN line. We're just following up the driver's side body line of the car. This is very thick, but there actually is room up front and everywhere to run it. We'll show you specifically how we ran it. It's pretty tricky. There's only one spot that this large cable will run in the front, but we were able to do it successfully. So we ran the wires up here. This is for the mic, so we can run to the factory mic. This is the CAN that's going to the cluster. We have display, and then somewhere up here, yep, we have the quad lock. And then coming up to the cluster, this is the CAN wire that yours will have 2 pins on, and it will be pinned out. It goes on the white connector to pins 9 and 10, which is brown yellow and yellow red. Coming over here, we have the quad lock that's hooked up, and we have the display cable, and this is for FM. However, this didn't fit. I have an adapter. Hey everyone, I know you guys are watching our BMW E46 NBT EVO retrofit, but I want to interrupt to let you guys know that we are giving away 2 t-shirts. They have been custom in-house designed by EM Performance. All right, guys, taking a look at these shirts. These are our custom designed EM Performance shirts. Obviously, you can see it is a BMW E46 with actual dimensions of the E46. These will be on sale on our website, linked down below in a few weeks. So take a look there. We have white and we have gray. We have sizes small to XL, and we will be adding more in the future, but this is what we're working with so far. And all right, the terms and conditions to be able to be eligible to win these t-shirts, you must be subscribed to the channel, like this video, comment down below, and also following my Instagram at Evan Goyak. We'll have it linked in the description below and on the screen here. The winners will be announced on my Instagram page 2 weeks from when this video is released. Good luck, everyone. All right, guys, so we ended up running the CAN wires to the front. This is needed because the BMW E46 has CAN bus 1 and the NBT EVO uses CAN bus 2, so it's intercepting the signal and changing values and parameters there. So what we did is we will provide this little custom adapter that allows your original KCAN to still plug into the cluster. So here's your original ones right here. It is pins 9 and 10. It is brown and red, and it plugs right into our custom little harness right here that's yellow and blue. And all you do is you replace the pins inside of here on 9 and 10 with our yellow and blue ones. And then it will have another pigtail coming out that runs to your back of the BMW E46 where your adapter and EVO sits. So this allows you to not have to cut or splice anything on your factory harness because it's right here. It's just, you'll just pin it into this small little connector that we'll give you, pin it into this side, plug it in, and that's it. That's how you get CAN bus 1 to the back of your car using the iBus adapter will intercept the signal. So we also ran wires for the microphone from the back. We used green and green white. If you look at your connector that you will have pre-supplied, 1 and 2 are for your supply, and that will plug into the OEM mic right here. If your car did not have the OEM mic, we will supply it. My E46 just had this little cover. I replaced it with the OEM mic right here. This plugs directly into it. And just like that, this also, we can install this back, and just like that, the microphone is wired up using the 20-year-old mic from the factory, which is absolutely insane. Taking a look, this is the quad lock connector, and as you notice, my E46 uses the round pins. Some of them use the blade connectors, but this is using round pins, so this is what we ran from the back. This just plugs directly into your original quad lock, just like that. And this is grabbing your iBus, power, ground, all of your speaker information, or your speaker signal rather. Here is your FM antenna that comes from the rear part of the car. And our quad lock extension comes with a plug that you can plug right in, and that's going to allow FM for the rear, and that's it. That's really cool. Everything has been wired up in the rear with our adapter, so we don't have to do anything else up front besides plug in the screen. So here is our HSD cable that we ran. One important thing to note is specific coatings required to use these long cables, and they do work just fine. Our kits become pre-coated, so you won't have to worry about that. Just something to add. This is the version 1, very important, version 1 of our touchscreen inside of this custom e46 bracket. See, there's a lot of marks on it for our markings, and right here is the HSD cable. Only plugs in one way. And then this sit in just like that. Looks pretty good for now. We're gonna figure out how we can button up this stuff real quick, and then we'll come back. So the fitment looks pretty good. We are continuing to work on the fitment, so it's only going to get better from here. This is it fully installed with our custom bracket in our custom touchscreen. As you saw how to connect the front. Now, that's really it for the front connections. We make it super simple. Let's go take a look in the trunk so you can see how the actual Evo is wired up and installed. All right, guys, so here is where all the magic happens. This is our NBT EVO that you will get included in your kit. Right here, we have our HSD wire for display. Right here, we have our Wi-Fi and Bluetooth antenna. These are used optionally if you guys would like to run a USB port. I opted not to. Right here, this blue connector right here is a GPS antenna. Yes, our kits will have onboard GPS. And then coming right here, this is the quad lock that you saw that we had run to the front. So right here is your FM, and this is the circle quad lock, as I mentioned. And this actually plugs right in. This is our custom made harness right here that adapts from circle pins to the spade pins on a NBT EVO. This is pre-wired, so you don't have to do anything. We leave this right here in case you want to add more microphones, or if you would like to add a backup camera, stuff like that. Right here is our microphone. This will already be pinned out for you, so you don't need to worry about that. And this is the magic box that is making it all happen. This is the box that is allowing CAN bus 1 to work with KCAN 2 and iBus. Here are some other things that you can use if you were looking to do aftermarket backup camera. This is also used. It's used in some other applications for like a front panel and stuff like that. We will not be using that in today's retrofit, so we don't need to worry about it. I just kind of left it here. I'll clean it up somehow when I find a better way. The other thing that we have is this is for O-bar. This is to be able to code the unit in the car. We'll include this just in case any final adjustments need to be made. So I'm going to actually plug that in right now. That's connected. And then this is your FM antenna. It takes the double DIN back to the FACRA connector. So this goes into the black connector on the NBT EVO. And then we will take our quad lock, our custom adapter that we provide, slot that in just like that. Next thing, we will take our NBT EVO quad lock, and connect that. This is going to sit up here for now. If it will stay still. And then the last thing we have is our double DIN FM antenna. And that's it. This is fully wired up to do everything that you need to do. Your radio will work, CarPlay will work, PDC will work if you have PDC installed. And again, backup camera, we'll do a separate video showing you how to install a backup camera. But yeah, everything will work. We'll show you this unit fully functioning. We're actually gonna, before we do that, we're gonna show you how to install it inside of the OEM BMW bracket. All right, everyone, this is super exciting. We have the NBT EVO installed in the factory GPS bracket in a BMW E46. We have the factory amp sitting back here, all working together. If you need these brackets, let us know. We can try to source them for you. They're somewhat difficult to find, but junkyard cars should be able to get it. We have our adapter right here. We have the NBT EVO right here with our custom bracket. We have this little piece right here due to the offset. This side lined up perfectly fine, but the right side did not, so we had to use a little offset bracket. There'll be a full guide showing how it actually installs, but it's pretty self-explanatory. There's also this little piece right here, a little stepper piece, so it has something to rest on, and it's not, like, I'm shaking it right now, it's not going anywhere. So that's super awesome. The only other things I would say to mention is we do have to clean up these wires a little better, but we have our GPS antenna sitting right here, and we have our Ethernet cable right here for coding in case we need it. We're going to throw on the front piece so you guys can see what it looks like, and then we're going to jump in the car and show you the functionality of the Evo. So this is the factory GPS carpet for the BMW E46. We are doing some other things, so I have to get the other piece installed here. We want to give you guys a look. So if you open up this quarter turn, bam, there's the NBT EVO sitting there. We're going to route the Ethernet cable somewhere here so you can just pull it out a little easier, maybe just sit it right here. But that is a look at the NBT EVO. You can use the disk drive if you want to play a CD or anything like that, or even a movie, since these things will be coded for video in motion. All right, guys, here's a first look at the NBT EVO fully functioning inside of the E46. We can scroll. This, we're going to put a custom picture of an E46. There's one warning that I have to deal with. It's the speed limit information. I have to decode that, but it is fully working. Volume controls from the steering wheel. If I click here, drops me into CarPlay. Siri works. You can see Siri works. The problem is, and I have this issue, that's not a problem of the retrofit. It's a problem with the NBT EVO. Sometimes the OEM BMW voice system wants to take over, but that's okay. It's, you just got to learn how to use it. The next tracks work via the steering wheel. Everything works. GPS doesn't know where I am yet because I haven't taken it for a drive, but I have full GPS working inside of the E46 factory GPS, which is awesome. And yeah, so far, the other cool thing is if you go here, I really haven't driven it yet, but all of your units and stuff will match. So if I go down here, turn on the HVAC, we can change the temperature to Celsius, and you can see it controls the HVAC down there. So we're going to put this in Fahrenheit. Should all be PSI, HP, miles per gallon, and all this information should work, which is really cool. I haven't played around with it too much, but we'll get there and we'll figure out what else this thing can and can't do. Radio works, as I mentioned, and then let me show you guys reverse. Currently, reverse is not wired up on my car. Backup camera, but I'll show you what it does. That's my PDC because it's not wired, but you'll get PDC. This goes blue because this is the iBus system hacking it to be able to use a aftermarket camera, which you wouldn't be able to use on the E46, but your PDC would work and an aftermarket camera if I had that wired up, and that will come up in the next video. And it shuts off when you take it out of reverse. Everything is working so far like it should be. The only thing that I need to fix in coding is making the screen a little brighter. I think it has the wrong brightness variable. I got to set the date, actually. It has the wrong date. But super cool that it is working fluidly. Everything works very nicely. Sounds great, honestly. Sounds better than the aftermarket stuff. There's no weird fuzz sound coming out. When I would use the aftermarket radios, you'd hear like a sound coming out when the volume was on at low volumes. You put your head up to the speaker. None of that. So far, the audio sounds very clean coming out of this thing. and time will tell. I'm super excited to be using this. You guys will see more and more videos on it, and we'll be selling kits. Kits will be available pretty soon once we dial in this. All right, everyone, that is a wrap of installing a NBT EVO in my BMW E46. This has been an absolute dream of mine ever since I installed an NBT EVO in my F10, which I'll have linked down below. And today we've completed this retrofit. Believe it or not, I've had the parts for this for probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And today we finally completed it. Huge thanks to Matt. He was able to custom 3D print the screen bracket as well as the bracket that actually holds the NBT EVO. Without him, I wouldn't be able to get this done. I know the technical parts, but I don't have the mechanical knowledge to be able to design something like that. So huge thanks to him. These kits will be for sale on EM Performance, which I'll have linked down below and on the screen very, very soon. So go check those out. We'll basically have to do custom kits per car depending on what car you have, but we'll work with you to give you a quote and price of what it would take to do it. Also, we are giving away EM Performance shirts that I showed in the middle of this video. So if you guys would like to win, make sure you guys comment down below, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and follow my Instagram. 2 lucky winners will be able to take home 2 custom in-house designed EM Performance shirts with the BMW E46 on them, and we'll have them for sale as well. Without any further ado, guys, I got to sign off for tonight. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.